What is it about the Pies? They keep getting in these close ones.
Well, they're a very good team. They're a good team that we respect and probably understand. It's always going to be a tough game, and if you don't quite get it right, the outcome's not going to be what you're after. And we didn't. Yeah, we had a couple of costly moments in the game that, when you look back on it, in a game that's really hard to score in because of conditions, those costly errors become even more costly. 50-metre penalties just outside to give them a goal, or a mark on the goal line right on the siren. Just small things that we know we've got to get right if we want to beat the best side in the comp.
Kicking yourselves a bit over a couple of those missed shots as well in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think they had their opportunities as well. When we go back and look at it, they, expected score, I think will be very similar. But yeah, no doubt I think at one stage we were 1-7 from stoppage. So you're able to turn that around and finish some of your work off. It was really important today in a low-scoring game for us to knock through our opportunities, especially when it's 30, 40 metres with set shots. But we'll continue to work on that, and it's an area we've been reasonably strong in, but didn't get done today.
Did you still feel you had a sniff towards the end? Dawson put you back within 10 points with, I think there was still 5 minutes left at that point.
I think the game was always going to play right through because it was a real arm wrestle. It wasn't a spectacle from a ball movement point of view, and taking the ball off the line and switching lanes and doing all of that. I think the game was very much a battle, with the wet and slippery footy, very much a territory battle, which I thought they probably did slightly better than us on the day. I thought when it was time to surge and take territory, they did that. We did that for a fair bit of the day, but there were some really costly moments where we overhandballed, and we knew that their game, they lick their lips when you 4 or 5 handballs in a row. They're coming for you, and we got hurt with that a little bit today.
Does it give you confidence overall that you're not far off one of the best teams in the comp away from home like this? And it was similar against Gold Coast, I guess, in a tight game against a good side.
Yeah, we have confidence in where we're at, but we also there's a reality to we have to be better. Walk away from these with a 10-point loss or a one kick differential. We're better than that. And today there were some key moments which we'll look back on, and as we do on Mondays after a game where we don't get the outcome we're after, and we kick ourselves. I think we're sick of that. So we know we're a good side. We want to be a great side like they are, and we have a lot of respect for them. They're experienced outfit. They prove it week in, week out. They don't make too many mistakes. So we've got to get ourselves to that level if we want to be consistent.
How do you plan to do that? Is it all about the consistency?
We'll keep learning. We'll keep playing the guys who can be consistent, and hopefully get a few of the smaller things right.
Taylor Walker subbed out. Was that purely tactical around the 3-12?
Yeah, well, with the conditions, it was more about what we wanted to get some power in around the footy and try and challenge them there. We did get that back on our terms a little with Berry coming in. Some ground ball. We had our chances. I thought third quarter, probably in the arm wrestle, I thought we had more opportunities and we just didn't convert. A little bit of that with Berry coming in on ball. It wasn't necessarily about Tex. It was more what we thought we'd get around the footy. In the end, Berry came in and impacted.
Fogarty 4 goals. I think 3 in the second quarter alone. How do you see his game?
Well, we know Fog can finish. We know when he gets an opportunity, he's dead eye. He had a really strong impact on the game, at times, and then I'm sure he'll be one that will put his hand up and say there were a couple of moments where, just as a group, we've just got to get a few things right. But no, he had a performance where he's playing an important role for us, which is part of that finishing his work off.
On the clearances, so last week a little bit lacklustre in the clearance, especially around stoppage. Was that a real focus coming into the week?
It was for our mids, yeah, and our group. We wanted to match it with. We wanted to get that at least on an even keel. last week we got destroyed in around that particular stat and that area. But we played against last week probably one of the best midfields. This week again, respectfully, we played a really strong midfield. And our guys stepped up in that space. So in the end, it's what gave us a chance. Not the area at this point that we'll look back on and say, hey, it's cost us the game. We felt there were just some other small pieces that we didn't quite get right.
Looks like Dawson was sort of back to his best today.
Yeah.
Did you maybe speak to him throughout the week? He was obviously a little bit down last week, or do you just let him sort of deal with that himself?
We talk every week, but it's definitely not me that's brought him back to form. He's a professional. There's a reason that he sits where he is and the respect he's got from the league. He's a very, very good player and a good leader. So, I think if anyone was pushing the review and where we need to be better and really, I guess, asking that midfield group to step up, it was our captain. And so today it was great to see he did find a way to impact the game and did what he could for the group, and in the end wasn't quite enough for us.
And then just last one, on Isaac's set shots, the couple that went out on full back-to-back, do you sort of just brush those off, or do you focus on that with him maybe post-game or early in the week?
I'll make Isaac kick 30 from each spot when we get there this week. I'll back Isaac in anywhere inside 50, more often than not. We'll probably sit down and talk through it, but it won't be a panic. It'll be just giving him some reinforcement that we know he can do it, and we probably maybe get him out on the boundary rather than that snapping checkies. He seems to knock those ones through, but it's not something that we'll dwell on.
How'd you go injury-wise, Clear?
I haven't seen the doc yet, but I'm hoping. I think so. I think we went through all clear, which is great.